It amazes me that people build homes without planning permission. Given construction costs today, I can't understand why people put that investment at risk, but here we are. There are a few things to say about the planning system before we get into what happens if you don't have permission. First off, there are no loopholes. None. They don't exist. Next, it's vital to understand that the planner's main focus is not really what your building looks like, but what impact it has on the local community. Will the new building overload the gas, water, sewage and electric system? Will it put more cars on the local roads or more kids in the local schools? And if the answer to any of this is yes, what plans do you have to mitigate that impact? So what happens if you build a house extension or new home without planning permission? Let's assume somebody snitches and notifies the local authority during or shortly after construction. Remember, the planning system is public. Every local authority has an online portal that neighbours can check to see if you have permission. The local planning authority will gradually escalate a case like this. It starts with a site investigation to gather information. If the work requires formal planning approval, they will invite the owner to make an application. The planners can also issue a stop notice if they believe some harm might occur during this time. If the application is not successful, or if the owner breaches the stop notice, the planners can issue an enforcement notice. This would require the work that has been carried out to be changed or even demolished. An enforcement notice can be appealed, but if the appeal is unsuccessful, there's nowhere else to go. At this point, if the owner does not comply, the local authority can take direct action and engage builders to enter the site and demolish the work. The planners can then recover the cost of doing this from the owner through the courts. Keep in mind what I said earlier about loopholes. There is a provision in the planning legislation for what is called immunity from enforcement. This is a period of time after which the planners cannot issue enforcement notices. It's 10 years in England and 4 years in Scotland, and it's only available if someone makes a genuine mistake. Let's say a homeowner assumed they had permitted development rights, built a house extension, and went through the building regulations approval process. Years down the line, if they discovered the extension did not have permitted development rights, they can apply for a certificate of lawful use under the immunity from enforcement provision. The legislation has specific provisions for deliberate concealment. This arose after a Supreme Court case involving a house in a barn, where the owner set out to game the system, and the system won. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this. And if you are thinking about doing work to your home, buying a house that needs an extension, or renovating a historic listed building, check out my online consultation service. There's a link in my profile.